Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the Spanish tragedy, and today we get to hear from Hieronimo for a change of pace in Act 4, Scene 1. So yeah, we got away from him for just a little bit while we saw that the marriage between Balthazar and Bellimperia is supposed to be moving forward, and Don Andrea is still upset that no revenge is being had, but revenge keeps saying, just wait, young grasshopper, just wait. And now in Act 4, Scene 1, we kicked off the scene with Bellimperia and Hieronimo talking to each other and sort of renewing their commitment to getting revenge. Bellimperia was throwing some massive shade at Hieronimo, but he was like, no, I'm in this, I'm going to do it, leave it to me, and I'll take care of it. But then Balthazar and Lorenzo came in because apparently the king wants the two of them to put on some sort of show with Hieronimo. And Hieronimo was like, oh, how fortunate. I just happen to have written a tragedy. Would each of you be in it? And they're like, yeah, I guess we could. But what is this? What is it about? You're going to have to tell us what your story is. Because, like, why would we do a tragedy to celebrate a wedding? But yeah, tell us what it's about. And Hieronimo says, that shall I roundly. The Chronicles of Spain record this written of a knight of Rhodes. He was betrothed and wedded at the length to one Persetta, an Italian dame, whose beauty ravished all that her beheld, especially the soul of Solomon, who at the marriage was the chiefest guest. By sundry means sought Solomon to win Persetta's love, and could not gain the same. Then gan he break his passions to a friend, one of his bashaws, whom he held full dear. Her had this bashaw long solicited, and saw she was not otherwise to be won, but by her husband's death. This knight of Rhodes, whom presently by treachery he slew. She, stirred with an exceeding hate therefore, as cause of this, slew Solomon, and, to escape the bashaw's tyranny, did stab herself. And this the tragedy. So, as often happens with a play within a play in an Elizabethan play, because of course what is an Elizabethan play if there isn't a play within a play in the play, as often happens, the play within a play is going to mirror the stuff that's actually going on. So he's like, there's this old tale about a knight from Rhodes who married an Italian woman named Persetta, who was so beautiful that Solomon, who was maybe like the best man type guy at the wedding, fell in love with her, but she wasn't going to leave her husband to be with Solomon. But then one of Solomon's like chief officer guys, which is what a bashaw is referring to, who had known Persetta for a while, knew that the only way that Solomon was going to get her is if they killed the Knight of Rhodes to have it done with. So they did kill the Knight of Rhodes, but she was so upset that she slew Solomon and then went and killed herself. And that's why it's a tragedy. So this is oddly mirroring what's going on with Bellimperia. And Bellimperia now has to marry Balthazar, but she wanted to marry either Don Andrea or Horatio, and Balthazar didn't like that, so Balthazar got rid of the other two. So you can see that there's the parallels in the story, because what's a play within a play if it doesn't shed some light on the play that it is within? So they're like, okay, but what happened to the bashaw that did the other killing? And they're like, oh, he felt so bad about what he did that he went and hanged himself too. So at the end of this play that Hieronimo has written, everybody's dead. He's like, so are we ready to do a little read through? And they're like, all right, well, who's going to play the bashaw? And he's like, oh, I will. I'll play the murderer. I'm so happy to play the murderer. And he casts Balthazar as Solomon and Lorenzo as the Knight of Rhodes. And then Bellimperia is like, who shall I play? And silly woman, what is a play without a woman? And what other role could a woman play but a woman? But Hieronimo is going to tell her that a little bit more eloquently in tomorrow's monologue, when he also dives into his new role as director. So I will see you then for that. Mwah.